Hello everyone, this is Jennifer Haston, The Professor Helps. This is your weekly installment. As I told you before, this is going to be positive thinking, inspirational messages, motivation, with a dollop of some realism, because I think way too often people are posting their best selves and not their real selves. So to that end, I'm going to talk today about the happiness jar. Happiness jar is something I started doing 2 years ago. I read about it from Elizabeth Gilbert. She is a famous writer and speaker. She's done TED Talks and she's also written the book Eat, Pray, Love and several other books. One of the things that she talks about is the happiness jar. So every day you take a slip of paper and you put it in a jar talking about the things that make you happy. Well, a couple of years ago when I first started hearing about this, my Aunt Nancy, who I adore, told me that a friend of hers came up with a really great acronym for the word age. So instead of thinking about getting older, what it means is that every day you take a moment and you think about the things that you accomplished, the things that you're grateful for, and the things that you enjoy. So age, A-G-E. And I like that it has two meanings, right? Because age is the words that you're looking at, and every day we age, right? And it's easy to get kind of bogged down in I'm getting older, but this is more about the things of life and the stuff of life. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that it's new year, it's 2020, and it's really easy to jump in with that clean slate idea and not talk a lot about the past. So I think it's important to mention the fact that this is one of the first years ever that I have said sayonara very happily to the last year. I tend to keep things positive as much as possible, but there was job loss, there was death, there was a lot of stress and a lot of difficulty in the last year. And as I go over that and I take stock in that and I think about that, and one of the things I love about the jar is at the end of the year you open up the jar and you read all the slips. And what I've done is I kind of see themes. One of the themes that I noticed this year was boundaries. I was a lot better about instilling boundaries and saying no when I needed to say no. I worked harder on making sure that music is a part of my life. I've gone to have a music lesson once every month, and that's been really important and enriching for my life. So the point today of The Professor Helps is to ask you what it is that you want to promise to yourself this year. And maybe it starts with the jar. By the way, you can't do the jar wrong. If you write it on slips of paper and put it in a jar, great. If you write it on slips of paper and you put it in a box, awesome. If you want to go digital and put it on your phone, more power to you. The whole idea is that you take a moment and you take stock, because way too often, I don't know about you, but for me, whenever I go through a day and I finish my day, I think about what is it that I've gotten done today? And that gives me a lot of peace. That list really gives me a lot of peace at the end of the day. And it's a good way to end the day, especially if it's been a bad one. And it forces me to look for the good and to find that gratitude and think about something that I enjoyed, even in the midst of chaos or difficulty or stress. It's a great way to ground myself, and it's a daily exercise that I do. And I will tell you, the first year I did this, it was not perfect at all. I think I probably did every other day as opposed to every single day. So I think that any kind of happiness you can instill in your life, the better. So if you do it 1 or 2 days and then you go, oh, I forgot, don't give up. Pick it up again and write it down. Maybe a jar doesn't excite you. Maybe you want a cup that you look at every single day, and maybe you put a collage of pictures on there, or you like the polka dot design, whatever it is that makes you happy. That's the whole point of this. So remember, as you walk into the next part of your day, Happy New Year, embrace 2020, and talk about the things that you are going to accomplish, what you're grateful for, and what you enjoy. And that's the professor signing off.